Hi guys, this is Shayna from YumiYarns.com. Today I've got a tutorial for you on what to do when you've got a bunch of fun stripes in a project and you need to weave in a whole bunch of ends. I don't like weaving in ends, so I knit all my ends in, and I'm going to show you what I do so that you don't have to mess with weaving them in after you're done knitting. So I'm at the end of my row. I'm going to kind of get things zhuzhed around here a little so that I can show you what I'm doing. I'm going to get set up to work my next row. I've broken the yarn from the current color and I'm ready to add in my new yarn right here. So what I do, make sure the ends are kind of similar in length. You don't have to be super specific with it, they just need to be kind of close. And I just kind of hold them together out of the way, knit the first stitch. And I should preface this letting you guys know there is a way to do this purlwise. I'm just showing you the knitwise way today. So knit the first stitch with your new yarn, and then with the tails of both, because I'm lazy, you can just do it one at a time and do the second one on the next right side row if you want. I don't see a purpose in doing that other than delaying the inevitable, so we're just going to do them both at the same time because it really doesn't show. So knit your first stitch normally. Put your needle in to knit your next stitch. Take your tails, wrap your needle underneath your tails, grab your yarn. So your tails are still over here with the working yarn kind of twisted around, and pull the tails off to the side there and finish your stitch. So you've essentially got your tails just wrapped over there. And then just knit your next stitch normally, because that locks the tails into place back there. For this one I'm going to slip. And you guys get a little bonus. I have an increase to do in this pattern. So I'm going to quick do that, and you guys get to see what that looks like. So this is just a make one increase. Same thing. Wrapping it around and through. Nice and easy. Lock it in place. I'm going to show you once more. Alternatively, if this motion is too confusing and you don't quite get what I'm doing, that is totally fine. You can just take the yarn, loop it, or take the tails, loop them over top. Knit that way, go in, do the same thing with this one. This is kind of a variation, but it's essentially doing the same thing back there. And this way, where you flip it all the way over and do it every row, is a trick from Stephen West. For me, it's because I'm continental, it's a little bit more cumbersome since I've got mine all kind of twisted around my fingers and everything, my working yarn. So for me, it's easier to just do it this way, where I go underneath the tails, grab my working yarn, bring it back under the tails, pull the tails out of the way, finish my stitch, knit the next stitch normally. And you get faster as you go. With both of these methods, you're going to want to kind of watch your tension. I'm generally a loose knitter, so it's not as big of an issue. If you're a tight knitter, try to not get stressed while you're doing this. Just try to relax. And it's kind of like when you're working the Kitchener stitch, every so often you may want to just take, you can see it kind of bunches up there a little bit, just take, give it a little pull, because all that's doing is redistributing the yarn back here that's getting wrapped, because you can kind of see where the tails are getting wrapped in there. And honestly, this is probably far enough for weaving it in, but again, I'm kind of a lazy knitter, so I usually just go until I run out of tails. That way I don't even have to bother with getting a scissors out. And you just keep going and going, and then once you get far enough, or once you decide you're done, like I see that and I'm like, I'm good, I'm done weaving that. You can just go straight into knitting. You don't need to do anything fancy with it. You just go right into knitting like normal. And I'll show you the back side here. You can kind of see where the end is there, the tail. And once you cut it, it will pop out just a little bit, but it's not noticeable. Nice and easy. And that is how I weave in my ends as I go. That way stripey fun shawls, like Brain Space here, are super easy. You don't need to mess with stuff. You don't need to try and fight with hours of weaving in ends. Just nice and quick and easy, lots more time for knitting. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. I've got more over at yumiyarns.com. The Brain Space shawl is available at yumiyarns.com and on Ravelry. And thank you so much. You guys have a great day.